Since 1892, Liverpool's badge has become almost unrecognisable from the original crest worn by the first team on a blue and white kit. Though the kit's changed colour, the badge has remained red in the main and is instantly recognisable across the world in whatever iteration it comes. At present, the Reds in fact have two club crests. One is used for commercial purposes and administrative documents, the other is for the team and the football side of things. We're taking you on a trip through the years to remember some of Liverpool's most famous badges and their distinctive features, as well as some of the notable moments that happened while playing in them. Starting with John Holding's first team, the original Liverpool crest was actually the city's coat of arms. The crest had the Latin phrase, "God hath granted us this ease" on it, and the club wished to continue using the coat of arms, but they weren't allowed and they had to make a change. Moving past the post-war years, Liverpool introduced an alternative crest, used mainly for merchandise, matchday programmes and official documents. This one will be familiar to some of you despite that, as it was used on some of the most famous documents in the club's history, including some of Shankly's letters. It was used for nearly 40 years and was last seen on the cover of the 1981 European Cup final programme. On the pitch, this badge is most famous for Liverpool's 1950 FA Cup final defeat to Arsenal. Keeping the liver bird, Liverpool moved to arguably the forerunner of today's team crest. This oval design was introduced in 1955 and Shankly oversaw some of Liverpool's best years in it, including the 1965 FA Cup win over Leeds, the club's first in its history. It was abandoned 3 years later though, in favour of just the liver bird and LFC. Moving on, in 1987 Liverpool introduced a shield become familiar with over the years. This type of badge had existed on and off over the years but became most famous in the 1987-88 season. It's synonymous with kits made by Adidas featuring crown paint and candy sponsors. You'll often still see replicas of these worn on a match day by fans at Anfield. In 1992, to celebrate the club's 100th anniversary, Liverpool first used the Shankly gate on a design that stuck for years to come. As you can see, Liverpool gradually transitioned into the modern badge we know today that was used on the kit from 2002 until 2012. With various outlines including this border that Liverpool won the European Cup with, has become synonymous with Steven Gerrard and modern Liverpool. In 2012, the club moved to Warrior as their kit supplier and a more retro feel was introduced. On the shirt, Liverpool went back to having just a liver bird and LFC. Many supporters prefer this and is slightly nostalgic of a past era. At the same time though, as mentioned at the start of this video, Liverpool have retained the previous badge to use for commercial purposes. So there's a rundown of some of Liverpool's most famous badges over the years. You can see they've not changed too much, with the liver bird being the main focus of each logo. Let us know in the comments which is your favourite.